Hello and welcome, this is Dennis Whiskers from Whiskers Educational Materials, that's vemonline.net. In this short video we'll talk about the ribs and how to attach the sternum from the front and the vertebrae from the back. There are 12 ribs total on each side of the body, but this number can be increased to 13 by development of a cervical rib or a lumbar rib. This number can be also decreased to 11 as well. The first 7 ribs are connected directly to sternum through cartilage. These are so-called true ribs or vertebrosternal ribs. The remaining 5 are so-called false ribs. Cartilages of 8th, 9th and 10th rib are each joined to the cartilage immediately above. And these are called vertebrochondral ribs. 11th and 12th rib are called floating ribs. That's because they are not connected to anything at their anterior end, so they are basically just sort of floating there. The ribs have spaces between them. These spaces are so-called intercostal spaces. Spaces are bigger in front than behind, and they are also bigger between upper ribs than lower ribs. As we can see, not all ribs are the same shape. Notice that the top ribs are more circular in shape, and as we go in inferior direction, they become more sort of like oblique. The 7th rib is the most oblique rib in your body. It is actually the longest one as well. When we go below 7th rib, closer to 12th, ribs actually will start to become more circular again, so that the obliqueness is gradually going to disappear. Okay, so far so good. This is where it will start to get a little confusing now. We divide ribs into following groups. We have so-called typical ribs and atypical ribs, and then we have so-called true ribs and false ribs. True ribs, that's rib 1 through rib 7, are called true because they connect to sternum directly. Now ribs 8, 9, 10, even though they don't attach to sternum directly, they attach to cartilage immediately above. Rib 11 and 12 don't attach to anything at their anterior end, and that's why they are called floating ribs. So that was true and false. Okay. Now ribs 3 to 9, sometimes 10, have similar features, and that's why they are called typical ribs. The rest are atypical ribs. Let's take a quick look at typical rib now. All typical ribs articulate with 2 vertebrae. This is the biggest difference between typical and atypical. So every single typical rib will have 2 facets that will articulate with the vertebrae from behind. One facet will articulate with the vertebrae that's above, and one facet will articulate with the vertebrae that's below. Typical rib at its anterior end will articulate with the sternum through a costal cartilage. We already talked about that. In midsection, at its interior surface, every typical rib will have a costal groove. This costal groove will hold its artery, vein, and the nerve. At its posterior end, every typical rib will have an angle, tubercle, neck, and the head. Tubercle articulates with the transverse process of numerically corresponding vertebrae. The head is wedge-shaped, okay, so it looks kind of like that. It will have 2 facets on it. This is very important. These facets are separated by the crest in the middle. So there's going to be 1 facet above and 1 facet below. So for example, let's take rib 7, which is the longest rib of the human body. Here we can see that its tubercle and inferior articular facet both articulate with the 7th thoracic vertebrae. Okay, I think we'll stop here. That's enough for now. This is it for this time. Find us on Facebook. Check out our homepage. Also, don't forget to check out ProHealth Systems. You can click on the links below. ProHealth Systems will give you a lot of very useful materials. Nikita Vizhnyak's Red Muscle Manual, so that's the book right there, is, in my opinion, the best book for musculoskeletal system education, period. And I have them all. Muscolino, Netter, Tortor. They're all great books. I studied from all of them. But this muscle manual, it's special. It's very compact, it's very easy to navigate, and it definitely has all the stuff you'll ever need to know about musculoskeletal system. Okay, my friends, be well. Press subscribe, press like. Share this. I'll share more materials very soon. I'll see you later. Bye bye.